Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho. H to the OV.
Hello, fans of all ages. We are indeed the Beasts of the East. Ryan Warwick and Scott Thompson with you here on this Wednesday, September 30th, 2015. Beasts of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM. Thank you very much for tuning in today. And first thing we got to talk about is your attire.
My attire is on point today.
It's on point, but all right, just listen to this. So Scott decides to no, rewind. I was meeting you at Jaylee's so we can go call the women's soccer game, our first play-by-play of the season. Unfortunately, this women's soccer team lost today 3-0. Hopefully you heard that on WRPR. But anyway, back to the story. So I'm going to meet you at Jaylee's, and I bump into you outside, and you are wearing a basketball jersey and sweatpants.
All right, it wasn't just any basketball jersey.
It was a nice jersey.
It was a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar UCLA jersey.
It was very nice.
Who says they have that?
So, you. So I go up to you, and I'm like, dude, are you really... I was like, you're changing, right?
I was like, yeah.
You're changing, right?
I low-key didn't know we were wearing polos. So I want to explain now.
All right, fine.
Now, I go back to my room. I'm walking. I'm thinking, what am I gonna wear? I gotta look good. This is our first play-by-play.
Right. I did my hair and everything.
So I'm like, Ramapo polo. I left it at home. Anyway, next. So go in my closet.
Our first play-by-play, he doesn't even have his Ramapo polo on him.
Doesn't matter. It got better from there.
Ramapolo.
I got the Barclays, my Under Armour.
It is a very nice shirt.
I got it at the Barclays tournament. Back in, what was that? August? Back in August when the PGA Tour was there for the playoff. And Ryan, I'm just on point.
It is a great shirt.
I'm just on point.
It is a great shirt.
I don't brag much. Maybe a little bit. But I'm on point today.
Did you wear the hat while we were calling the game?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We showed up to a meeting a couple months ago, earlier this month, with someone who works in the athletic department, and he comes in with the Ramapo polo on, but he has his Titleist hat on. I'm like, Scott, you have a meeting with someone. You're going to wear a hat to a meeting?
Absolutely. I wear a hat.
Your hair is a little wild.
I haven't gotten a haircut. Well, I have a 2-week policy. I get a haircut every 2 weeks. I'm 2 weeks past that 2 weeks.
So you haven't gotten a haircut in a month?
Yeah.
I get a haircut once a month, but I haven't gotten a haircut in 6 weeks.
Look at my hair right now.
I know, it's wild. I haven't gotten a haircut since August 15th.
Yeah, but your hair works. Mine doesn't.
My hair doesn't work? Are you kidding?
I'm getting a haircut this weekend, and I won't wear a hat all week. How about that?
I just discovered this look
by the way,
a couple of days ago.
For people that probably see me, I'm wearing a hat around campus 24/7.
Your little baseball American flag hat. You love it.
It's great. Routine baseball. Look it up. But anyway.
Baseball.
Anyway.
I got to figure out what to do with my sides.
I will not wear a hat this entire week. How about that?
No, I'm not saying don't wear the hat. No. You can wear the hat, but
I want to see if I can do it. Because literally, it's second nature. I wake up, pants, shorts, socks, hat.
I can't do it.
I can do it.
Once I get a haircut, I can.
Except for Thursday and Friday. That's the one day I have to wear a hat.
Because we wake up.
Yeah. And having to deal with that.
And I get a good 4 hours of sleep tonight because I have to make the newspaper.
That'll be me next year. But I'll gloat for now.
How do you know?
What?
You don't know if you're going to be.
Bro,
I make.
You have to be optimistic, and you have to set your goals. And I'm setting my goals. And if you don't make me it, transferring. Rowan, here I come.
You're going to transfer your senior year?
Not really. No, I'm just kidding.
Good point.
I like it here.
Speaking of optimism, let's get into the New York Yankees, which fans seem to not have a lot of optimism, despite the Yankees' magic number being 2 with 5 games left. I want to rewind back to 15 years ago, 2000, okay?
We were 5. How do you remember this?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because it's a stat that I'm going to bring up. Okay. The Yankees lost 15 of their last 18 games in the 2000 regular season. They won 87 games in 2000. They won the division by 3 games, I think. So they obviously barely won because they were heading into the month of September with 80-plus wins, and they lost 15 of their last 18, which obviously is not how you want to enter the postseason. They wound up winning the World Series that year. So, do the Yankees look like a good team right now? No. Are their offensive numbers skewed? Yes. You look at the stats and you say they have the second best offense in the American League, maybe even the third behind the Astros. I think they pulled up behind them, but the Astros are now 10-17 in the month of September. So even they're falling off a lot. But do they look like a great team? No. Do they look like a team that can win the World Series? No. Do they look like a postseason team? No. But you know what? Last year they won 84 games. The year before that they won 85 games. They were not supposed to be a 500 team. And I understand that when you're in the position that at one point they did have an 8-game lead in the division. And every negative aspect goes completely out the window because when the moment's right there in front of you and you lose it, it hurts whether you haven't made the postseason in 100 years or 1 year. It still hurts. But Yankee fans have to remember that they were not supposed to be in this position. And we go back to this argument a lot. We don't know the Yankees losing. The Yankees have not had a season. 84 wins is the lowest they've had in our lifetimes. So we don't know what it's like to lose a lot, but again, the Yankees were not supposed to be in this situation. And Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. They won 87 games in 2000. They won the World Series. The San Francisco Giants won 87 games last year. They won the wild card on the road at Pittsburgh, which is not an easy place to play. The Pirates have the best home record in all of baseball. So I don't get why Yankee fans are so pessimistic.
I don't get it, especially because the playoffs is all about streaks.
Right.
It's a 0-0 record going in. You throw your best on the field, and whatever happens, happens. That's why they call it the heat of the postseason. Yep. It's such a high-pressure situation. It just matters about who steps up to the plate. Like you said, though, we're not used to a Yankee team with 84 wins. We're used to 90, 92.
Right. They have 86 right now, which their highest since 2012.
Yeah. So we're not seeing the powerhouse juggernaut Yankees. We're seeing those young guns that are putting together games and they're winning off of sac flies instead of 400-foot bombs now.
And we know the story of the Yankees offense is home runs. Half of their runs come from home runs, which we all know is a problem in the postseason. But here's why the Yankees don't play small ball. Because they have the guys who produce runs. They have the second best offense in the league because they don't play small ball. I know that might sound insane because you think to yourself, if they stole a couple of bases, they would have the best offense ahead of Toronto. They would have more wins, blah, blah, blah. But when you really think about it, their mindset, Girardi's mindset, and you can like it or not, I personally am not a big fan of it, but if you like it, then that's fine because it's not completely out of the ordinary. But if you have guys who can drive in runs like A-Rod and Martishar before he got hurt, and Beltran, who's having a great season thus far. He was hitting under 200 in the month of April. He's batting 300 since May. You have Greg Bird now. You have Dustin Ackley, who's hitting home runs. You have even Chase Headley, who can park a couple. And Stephen Drew hits home runs every now and then. You're not going to risk outs if you have guys who produce runs. So that's why I say that them not playing small ball is the reason why they had the second best offense in the league. You don't like it? Understandable. You want to steal bases. You want to bunt. Whenever Brian McCann bunts down the third baseline, I love it. But again, we know this team is not playing well at all. I think they're a game under 500 since August 1st. I think they're 26-27. But they are an 86-win team. Right now, their magic number is 2. They can make the postseason tonight. Do I think the Yankees are going to win the World Series? No. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. If you're in the postseason, it's a possibility.
Well, Ryan, I actually still have that Snapchat that you sent. Screenshot this. The Yankees winning the World Series.
That was back when they were in first place, and they were arguably the best. Remember, they were at one point the best team in the league.
Yeah.
So you have to. So I understand when Yankee fans are saying they choked, blah blah blah, but let's be real about the Toronto Blue Jays. I honestly think that without the Tulowitzki trade, maybe without the David Price trade, not sure, but definitely without the Tulowitzki trade, this team was going to get hot. The Blue Jays are a better team than the New York Yankees, with or without Tulowitzki. You leave Tulo. Remember, look at what Tulo's stats are as a Blue Jay. He's batting before he got hurt. He was in 42 games, batting .232, had 41 strikeouts. No, 38 games, with 42 strikeouts. That's over a strikeout a game. He was batting .232. He was playing stellar defense, but he was not an asset to this Blue Jays team. Maybe in the clubhouse for chemistry he was, but he did not really help out the Blue Jays at all. And remember, David Price throws once every fifth day. Look at the rest of the rotation. They've been pitching very well. It's not like David Price is on the mound every single day. So you want to say the Yankees choked? Fair. But honestly, Toronto was going to take the lead.
That's what Toronto actually scares me in this postseason because, again, this is a team like the New York Mets. A lot of guys haven't made the playoffs yet, including David Price was with the Tigers. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have a couple guys like David Price and Josh Donaldson, but the rest of this team,
they might have the AL Cy Young and MVP.
They are gearing up for this playoffs because it's the first time, and they want to make a real push and say, Yankees, Red Sox, that's what the AL East used to be. Who's going to win it? Maybe the Orioles, but the Blue Jays and the Rays were always down low.
Yep.
Now the Blue Jays shoot up top, and they're like, we're a team to mess with. So
we're not a team to mess with.
Not a team to mess with. Yeah. Sorry. Bad word.
I know what you were going to say.
Yeah. But anyway, this Blue Jay team scares me a lot, and I've said this back in June and July to you. This team scares me.
Yep.
And definitely heading into the playoffs next week, it's going to be a show. It's going to be a very fun show to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I may be a Yankee fan, but you got to give it up to the Blue Jays. I mean, they haven't made the postseason since 1993, and Alex Anthopoulos with incredible moves, the Blue Jays GM, incredible moves to make this team better. He looked at that schedule, and he saw that they had 13 games left against the Yankees. And like I said, I don't think those moves really mattered. I think this team was probably going to take over first place anyway. Partially due to the fact that the Yankees didn't play well, but I just think that the Blue Jays overall had a better. I mean, look at Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion. At the trade deadline, they were awful. Their second half numbers, their power numbers, they already have more home runs in the second half, which isn't even done yet, than the first half. And when you look at the second half, it's usually after the All-Star break, you play 70 games in the second half compared to 92 in the first half. So Bautista went off, Donaldson went off, Edwin Encarnacion went off. Ben Revere has been unbelievable for this team. Even Kevin Pillar is very good. Mark Burley started throwing well. R.A. Dickey started throwing well. Even Jeremy Hellickson started throwing well.
Estrada's throwing well, too.
Estrada's throwing well.
So
Sherman came back.
You know, it's just Anthopoulos, I really give him a lot of credit for this team's morale right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because maybe not, David Price obviously being your ace now, right?
Yeah.
You'd be the ace now, obviously. So David Price being your ace, you bring in big names like him and Tulowitzki. You brought in Josh Donaldson before the season. So he's trying to bring not only, I want to say, like, what, good team camaraderie or
right.
like
Fire,
showing people
chemistry.
that I have this team. We have this talent on the team. Brings the fans in too.
Right.
Because you may not have known, obviously, Encarnacion and Bautista were there, but you didn't know these other guys. Like if you put Kevin Pillar up there, like you wouldn't know him. Josh Donaldson is at the start of your lineup. Troy Tulowitzki was at the start of your lineup. Jose Reyes didn't really work out for him. Obviously, we saw that trade. But this team is full of veterans and young guys alike that are teaching.
A good mixture.
It's a good mixture. So the veterans are teaching the young guys, and the young guys are proving to the veterans, hey, we can play too.
Yep.
So it's just a full chemistry. The whole nucleus of that team is just working out really well.
Exactly. And going back to the Yankees, we know how much heat Joe Girardi has taken. But honestly, most of the heat is from people who don't really understand baseball. I don't know how you feel about Girardi.
I like Girardi. I always liked Girardi.
He's a statistician, and you can be in love with Girardi as a manager. He is a statistician, maybe even too much of a binder guy. We all get it. But the Yankees have a manager who backs up their team 24/7, and if he makes a bad call, he will chirp, he will spark up this offense. And look at last season. There were rumors going around the locker room saying that he went off on players for being out of shape and that they couldn't play anymore. Jacoby Ellsbury and Brett Gardner not hitting a combined 200 since the All-Star break because of Joe Girardi. Okay? I mean, look at the team. This team was supposed to win 80, 81 games at most this season. Right now, they're at 86 with 5 to play. 90 wins is a little bit of a stretch. They have to go 4-1. But you know what? If you told me that the Yankees were going to have 86 wins and be a wild card, I would be doing jumping jacks back in spring training. Because neither of us predicted that they would make the postseason. We are diehard Yankee fans.
I think we predicted them to be like 4th or 5th in the AL East.
I predicted them to win 84. Excuse me. I had them winning like 84 games and a tie with Toronto for second place. We
messed up on them and the Red Sox. The Red Sox, too, who we thought was going to be a great team with their acquisitions over the offseason, but that didn't work out either.
Yeah, so let's go back. We had no idea what A-Rod was going to do. And then turns out he does very well. Mark Teixeira goes down with an injury, and you call up Greg Bird, who's just supposed to be this guy. He's cooled off a little bit since the Toronto series, but he's still a threat in the lineup. Didi Gregorius is putting up career-high numbers in every offensive stat. And you know what? He had 5 errors in... Now, I looked it up. It was either the month of April or the first... He had a lot of errors and a lot of bad decisions on the baseball field, and he has turned into, I think he could be a Gold Glove in the American League at shortstop.
Definitely. After the first couple months, he was so shaky, and you can't blame such a young kid who was in a small team area like
Cincinnati and Arizona.
In Arizona, you come to the mecca of baseball, and
replace Derek Jeter,
who's going to be in the Hall of Fame soon. And be in Monument Park one day. But anyway, you come in there, replacing him. Fans are literally staring at you the minute the ball gets hit, and you know every single fan in that stadium was looking at him.
All eyes were on him.
I'd be nervous too, obviously.
Yeah. And he's been unbelievable.
But since then, he needed, like we said, needed to settle in. He needed to take his time and play like Didi Gregorius, not like anybody else.
Yep. And you know what?
Doing that as
and you know what? Even Chase Headley, guy has 20-something errors on the year. 6 of those errors are since the All-Star break. He even has done pretty well. This is kind of what we expected out of him. Carlos Beltran was not expected to hit like this since May. And remember, in April, he was awful. He's hitting 300 since the month of May. And then you have injury. And then I think, how many people on the Yankees went down with injuries? The rotation. Did all 5 have an injury at one point or another? Tanaka, Pineda, Ceci, Evaldi, Nova. I don't think he was ever injured, but he did go to the rotation.
He went back and forth with the rotation because he had that awful stretch.
Yep. So 3 years in a row where there are a lot of injuries to this team, and 3 years in a row, most of the injuries are to the rotation. Last year, 80% of pitchers went down with an injury. This year, it was the same exact thing. None for a long period of time, but every single pitcher went down with an injury. So if you want to blame Joe Girardi, and Andrew Miller got hurt, reminder, back in May. He was out for a month or so. You want to blame Girardi, go ahead. I think the only thing you can blame him on is pushing pitchers a little bit too much to the limit. Della Betances has been shaky. I saw an incredible stat. Mariano Rivera only threw for 70 innings 3 times in his career. Della Betances, two qualified years, 70 innings in both years. So Joe Girardi is overusing Della Betances. And you know what? It's a blessing in disguise that the Yankees are losing right now. Because when postseason time comes and you need a guy in the 8th inning, Della Betances is still right there. The Yankees are they only have 2 losses when leading after 8 innings. Yeah. Okay? I think they're like 65-2 when leading after 8 innings.
Well, obviously, because this 1-2 punch is a 1-2 punch, and you haven't seen that in a while from a team. Dellin Betances and Andrew Miller both throwing gas, both with great stuff. And you're right, it is a blessing in disguise that they are losing right now because these guys are not going to be used. So, not going to say keep losing because we obviously want...
You want to clinch.
We need 2 wins. Maybe if you get the one tonight and have the Angels and Twins lose, okay. But lose if that's the case after those 2 wins because if Dellin Betances and Andrew Miller can stay...
Or just sit them in general.
Yeah,
because
sit them in general,
once you clinch this postseason, the Blue Jays are winning the division, get it through your head. Okay? Their magic number is 1. Stop worrying about the Blue Jays. They are not going to win the division. It's the Blue Jays division. They want it fair and square.
You need Tanaka, Betances, and Miller for that wild card game.
Yep.
That is definitely what you need. Tanaka going to throw tonight so he can be in line for that wild card game. But Betances and Miller are definitely going to be a big part if it comes down to a 1-0 lead going into the 8th. Mm-hmm. And you could definitely bet on them shutting that down.
And let's talk about Tanaka. Hamstring strain starting tonight. I don't know if I like it or not. And here's why. Because let's say he gets hurt. Okay?
Like hurt, yeah.
And not even hurt, just hurt to the point where he can't throw in the wild card game. That's a big blow. Because the number 2 starter... It might be. We can talk about this later. It's either going to be Severino or Pineda. We have a lot of time. We'll talk about that later. But the Yankees have to be very careful with Masahiro Tanaka tonight. A postseason spot, they have a 99.9 percentage chance of making the postseason. 99.9, according to ESPN. They're going to make the postseason, so you have to be very careful. After tonight, the only thing you can play for is home field, and they practically have that in the bag. 3.5-game lead with 5 to go. They're going to make it, and they're probably going to play at home. It's that simple. So after tonight, I think that they really need to sit everybody. If they as soon as they clinch, they need to sit everybody. Literally everybody. Sit Dellin, sit Miller, because that's why everyone is having a bad season. Brett Gardner is notorious for having bad second halves. Notorious for it. And same thing happened with A-Rod. Right now it's happening with Greg Bird. Maybe the postseason rush is getting to him a little bit. I'm not sure. He's a young guy. He's in shape. I think it might be the postseason rush. Just give everyone a break. If they clinch tonight, that would be great for them. So you can sit everyone, have them play a couple of innings here and there until the wild card game, because the wild card game is their most important game in the last 3 years.
Because definitely with a young team that's being anchored right now by Greg Bird and Didi Gregorius, along with Beltran definitely picking it up, that's a huge, huge key component, because I thought that Beltran was done after this season. He's showing that he can maybe play 1 or 2 more now, but like you said, give him a rest. These guys have been working so hard under all the injuries, like you said before.
Injuries and a big postseason race, trying to get ahead of it's
exactly.
Tough.
And being young guys, they've shown a lot. They've shown that they can come through adversity. And if they win that wild card game, I think it's going to be such a morale booster for that team. Going to the playoffs, they can be like, listen, we actually have a shot at this.
Yep.
And these wild card games are going to be a lot of fun to watch, because these teams basically should be in the playoffs. I love how, like you said, the Yankees, if they need 2 more, you said the clinch. So that would be 88 wins.
Yeah.
88 win team in the wild card.
I would have taken that in a second in spring training.
That is crazy, though, because look at these other teams with high 80s, 80 wins, and they're playing for the wild card.
Yep.
So that shows you that baseball is back on the rise, and there are a lot of good teams everywhere now. It isn't just the Yankees anymore, and it isn't just the Cardinals anymore.
And going back to the morale and the confidence boost, that wild card game, fans are going to show up. That's why the Yankees have not been very good recently, because fans, for whatever reason, they're not showing up. But you know what? Fans are going to be at that wild card game. It's a postseason game. And if they win that wild card game, fans are going to show up to the division series and hopefully the championship series and hopefully the World Series. Fans are going to go to the ballpark. And Yankee Stadium, it's not that tough to play during the regular season, but in the postseason, especially now, because 3 years of not making the postseason for Yankee fans is the end of the world for them. So
last one was 2012, right?
2012. So it'll be hectic at that stadium. So if the Yankees can just get a good rest out of these players and clinch as soon as possible, them being 3.5 games up right now in the wild card spot is the best thing to happen to them outside of winning the division. Because right now, this is the best position for them. If they weren't going to win the division, right now they are in the best possible spot because the Blue Jays are going to fight for home field against the Royals. Same thing with the Royals. The Yankees, after today, odds are they're getting home field. 3.5 up with 5 to go, and 4 games up with 5 to go ahead of the Angels and the Twins. This is the perfect scenario for them if they need to give guys rest.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it just comes down to you want to have your starting players that are producing for you to, be 100%. You don't like Tanaka, like we said. I'm with you. I think it's very iffy if he has a hamstring strain that he is pitching tonight because you want everyone 100% going to this postseason because there are powerhouses like the Blue Jays, and if you get to the World Series, who knows who you're facing in the National League? Those are powerhouses all around.
And every team in the NL right now, they have stud pitchers. The Cardinals have the best team ERA out of starting pitchers. The Dodgers have Greinke and Kershaw. The Mets have Harvey and DeGrom and Syndergaard and Matz. The Pirates have Garrett Cole and A.J. Burnett, who is having a great season.
A.J. Burnett. I always loved A.J. Burnett as a Yankee, by the way. But anyway, the Cardinals got Adam Wainwright back. He's going to be in the bullpen for now. Obviously, when the postseason starts, he's going to pop back out and be a starter. So, a team that hasn't really... I don't think that a team going into the playoffs has been as plagued injury-wise as the Yankees have, especially with core players like Tanaka, like Pineda, like Teixeira. So... you need your guys 100%. So definitely rest them. If they clinch tonight, hopefully they can get back-to-back wins. If they don't clinch it tonight, so that you can sit down your players, tell them, okay, we're definitely going to need you for this postseason. I need you guys to be ready. So take a rest, do what you have to do, and gear up for that.
And going back to Girardi really quickly, a bunch of people are saying that Girardi has cost this team 10 wins by his managing. You think the Yankees are a 96-win team? Come on. They were an 80-win team to start the season. Girardi does some weird things. I get it. I saw him take out a pitcher with 2 outs in the 9th when leading by 7 runs earlier this season. Girardi does weird things like that. But you know what? If you want to kill him, go ahead. He's going to be the manager of the year in the American League, most likely. Who else? John Gibbons, I don't know much about the Blue Jays, but a lot of people don't like John Gibbons. Girardi's probably going to be it. Girardi is probably going to be AL Manager of the Year this year. Sure, he does weird things with the bullpen, and he plays matchups and this and that. But you know what? That's the way baseball is now.
And he has to, in my opinion. Look at what he has around him. He doesn't have a team like the Blue Jays, or even like the Dodgers or the Cardinals, who have such depth in that team.
The Yankees do not have depth.
No, he is dealing with what he's got. So that's why I think 86 wins, or if they get to 88, even 89 maybe, that is a great year. And you definitely make a good point that he could definitely be the AL Manager of the Year.
Last night, people were saying, take out Pineda. He let up 6 runs in the first inning. Okay, let's take out Pineda after 1 inning. Then you have a bullpen game for 8 innings.
Where does that make sense? And plus, he's your second starter going into this postseason, probably.
Between him and Severino.
Which means he will be third either way. So he's definitely going to be a starter in the postseason.
Yep.
You're going to take him out after 1 inning, let him regain his
and you want the bullpen to throw 8 innings when they're already gassed?
And look what happened. They scored 4 runs. It was a 6-4 game. How did he do after that? Well, right? I don't think he gave up a run after that.
I think they wound up losing like 10-4, 11-4. But I mean, he obviously didn't let up all those runs.
Yeah. Anyway.
But like I said, everything Girardi does, someone has to kill him for it. But he has such limited options because he has no depth, and I don't get why people don't realize that. Again, Chasen Shreve is struggling, but earlier in the year he was unbelievable. Justin Wilson is getting back on track. And Dellin Betances and Andrew Miller are getting back on track because they're not being worked as much. But again, Girardi has been very, very, very limited with what he has. He does not have a lot of options. So stop killing the guy. Girardi's a main reason why this team is in the postseason right now. Okay? So stop killing the guy. It's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Of course, I mean, it's New York. I understand why. But anyway, I don't understand why everyone keeps honing in on Girardi himself.
No one can be perfect.
I don't get it. He's making the best out of his situation. So
people
go with that.
People want to fire Cashman are even dumber than the people who want to fire Girardi.
Look at the team that's on the field, and you're making the postseason right now.
Yep.
Be happy for that. As a Yankee fan, I'm happy for that.
I know, me too.
After Greg Bird and Didi Gregorius are anchoring this team basically to the playoffs. I love it.
You want to fire Cashman. They didn't get David Price. Good, because they're not taking out salary anymore. They have Greg Bird. They have Aaron Judge. They have Luis Severino. They have Jorge Mateo. They have Rob Refsnyder. The fans are getting what they want, but then they still have to attack Cashman because he didn't get this or he didn't get Martin Prado. You know what? Martin Prado was, honestly, would I have liked him to be on the team? Yes. But
I would have taken him over Steven Drew.
Yes, but look who they got in return. They got Nathan Eovaldi, and he is emerging into a quality starter for this team. He struggled early on, and he got a lot of wins because of very good run support. But now, before he got hurt, his last 13 or so starts, he had an ERA of under 3. Eovaldi can throw. And then what other moves did he make? He got Didi Gregorius, and I can't think right now off the top of my head, but there are a lot of trades that he did not make that saved this team. Shane Green, right now. Who was in that? Was he in the Didi trade? Was that part of the three-man? Because I think the Yankees sent guys to Detroit, who sent guys to Arizona, who sent guys to the Yankees.
I believe he was part of that.
Would you rather have Shane Green on this team or Didi Gregorius? Shane Green is not in a major league. He's not on a major league roster right now. Okay? So Cashman and Girardi are doing a very good job. If you want to blame someone, I guess you could blame Cashman for not having guns on the team, because that's not Yankee mentality. Yankee mentality is let's go out and get the best guys. You know what? They didn't want to do that anymore. Why? Because they like the 4 guys that they have in the minor league system. This is potentially the new core 4.
And I love it. You want to know why I love it? Is because Cashman is believing in the farm system now. We're so used to him throwing away.
Yep.
Prime example, Austin Jackson for Curtis Granderson. Look how that worked out.
Yep.
I don't even think Curtis Granderson batted over 270 when he was with the Yankees.
Yep. He put
up power numbers, yeah. But Austin Jackson's doing very well, and he's solidified his spot in that Seattle offense as the leadoff hitter. Anyway, I love that Cashman has relied on his scouts and everyone to say, we got to keep these kids. Who was it? David Price? When they were asking for Refsnyder, they kept pushing Refsnyder.
It was David Price. It was Craig Kimbrell. It was Cole Hamels. It was
Cole
Johnny
Hamels.
Cueto.
That's what I'm thinking of. They the Phillies wanted Refsnyder bad.
Yeah, and rightfully so, because Chase Utley's a joke.
And the way the media was making it sound like was Cashman was basically like, no, he was like laughing it off, like I'm not giving him up for that. So I love that he's believing in his farm system and his core players that you said could possibly be the new core 4.
Yep, and that's how Yankee fans are. Yankee fans are very pessimistic. They think the bad outweighs the good. I don't think so.
They want the good now. They want people who can produce now. No, you have to.
Get used to it.
Yeah,
get used to it, because we have been blessed. You can't
have possible rookies of the year for the next 2-3 years.
Yep, without a doubt. And that's how Yankee fans are. They're pessimistic, and that's how they are. They think the bad outweighs the good. I don't think so. And really quick, before we get into the updates, because it's already 6:35. Mm-hmm. Who was the second starter in the postseason, Severino or Pineda?
Honestly, I think you should do Michael Pineda first. My reasoning being, if
I don't think there's no right or wrong answer.
No, I don't. I think it is 50-50, but I feel like give Severino a little chance to see for the first 2 games what the postseason's like. Show him that you need to produce. So if, say, Tanaka or Pineda does not have a good game, show him that this is definitely something that you have to look for. I need a good start out of you. So let him ease his way into the playoffs instead of throwing him out immediately.
You just convinced me. I mean, do I think... I think
Pineda's a big boy. He loves the spotlight.
He does.
So I think you definitely put him to have Severino, the young gun, go behind him, focus on those first 2 games, and then go from there.
This is going back to, I guess it's not really exact to the Kershaw-Bumgarner argument that we had the other day, but I like the bigger sample size. Has Severino been great? Of course he has, but he's only had 9 career starts. We've seen what Michael Pineda can do. The guy struck out 16 people this year. And you know what? I get that if Pineda's slider is not there, he's bad. Pineda relies on his slider a lot. But you know what? When it's on, he's one of the toughest pitchers to face in the American League. Writers in spring training were very, very high on this guy. You have to start Pineda second. Again, ease Severino into it. Is Severino having a better season as of July? Of course he is. But you know what? Pineda is proving himself. Pineda likes the spotlight. Pineda is a professional pitcher. Severino's not there yet.
Then do they do 4-man or 3-man?
I don't know. They're not going to go 3-man. It all depends on when Evaldi's back.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
I think you could do Tanaka, Pineda, Severino, CC. Yes, that without a doubt.
Especially after this past month.
CC's been throwing very well. You have to put CC in the lineup, and you have to save arms and everything like that. And if Evaldi's in, he's in. And if he's not in, maybe you put in Warren, or you do the 4-man rotation.
Yeah.
But I think you do have your top 4 pitchers ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without a doubt. Sky to T, go ahead.
All right, Roundpaw Roadrunner updates. Me and Ryan were at that women's soccer game. We called that over this live stream. They were at the athletic field this afternoon. The Roadrunners lost, however, 3-0 to Rutgers Newark Raiders as striker Sarah Corson of Rutgers had a hat-trick, moving her goal total to 14 on the season. The Roadrunners are now 6-2-1 and look to rebound from their loss on Friday as they travel to Rowan to face off against the Owls. Women's volleyball fell to Montclair State last night, 3-1 in the sets, moving their record to 9-5 on the year. They will be hosting the Roadrunner Invitational starting this Friday in the Bradley Center. The Roadrunners' first game is at 6 p.m. against Hunter College. On to pro updates. The Yankees lost again last night, 10-4, as Michael Pineda gave up 6 runs in the first inning to the Red Sox. However, they could clinch a postseason berth tonight if they win and the Angels and Twins both lose. The Yanks will take on the Sox again, 3rd game of the 4-set series. Wade Miley, Masahiro Tanaka on the bump. That's 7:05 first pitch on the YES Network. Moving boroughs again. Mets lost to the Phillies, but it really doesn't matter at this point as they're constructing their playoff lineup. They will take on the Phils again tonight at 7:05 on SNY. Don't look for most of the starters to play as they gear up for the postseason. Logan Verrett and Alec Asher on the mound. Football news, the New York Giants, Victor Cruz, who stated that he might play this week, that's not happening. He aggravated his calf injury again and will not suit up for the game this Sunday against the Bills. The Giants will play at Buffalo at 1 p.m. And the New York Jets fly over to London. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch at Wembley Stadium. They will take on the Dolphins. This is their first game. They will be the first game, on Sunday at 9:30. They will probably be playing without Eric Decker, though, who is out with an injury. And that's it. Ryan Mork, Scott Thompson, WRPR 90.3 FM. We'll be back right after these short messages.
Kids are using their energy wisely. Yeah. What's your excuse? Learn more at loseyourexcuse.gov. Kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
This song's for selfish girls. They want the whole wide world. They just want
Ryan Mork and Scott Thompson back with you. A little bit of Jake Miller, actually. Ryan Mork and Scott Thompson back with you. You're not happy with that. A little bit of Jake Miller, actually. Ryan Mork and Scott Thompson back with you. You're not happy with that. Hold on one second. A little bit of Jake Miller, actually. Oh, that's why. Duh. So, yeah, a little bit of Jake Miller. What? I'm not feeling him.
I like him a little bit.
He's cool. Artist-wise, he's solid. I still think that he got a little freaky with Melissa.
Oh, stop. Jesus.
You know that he followed me on Twitter and I didn't even follow him back because he was obviously scared of me.
He was scared of you.
Oh,
how tall is he? Was he like 5'8"?
He's got to be like 5'9", 5'8".
Yeah. Brian, I don't think he's scared of you. He's got that low center of gravity. I think he'd put you to the floor.
Yeah, but I have a 6'9" wingspan.
I didn't talk about getting rebounds.
What? Yeah, I'm talking about punching him in the face. It's all right. Good artist.
Anyway.
Good artist, bad person. So, hold on. Here we go. I'm going to pull up the NFL schedule because we're going to go over our Week 4 picks. Hold on. Schedule. There we go. Actually, first, let's talk about the Giants and Jets really quickly.
Yeah.
Before we pull this up. Giants are at Buffalo. That game was at 4:25, I believe. No, it's at 1 o'clock. You just heard in the updates that Victor Cruz is not going to play on Sunday. He aggravated his calf injury, so who knows how long he'll be back for. But the good news is that LaShawn McCoy is doubtful for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to tell you why that isn't good news.
Why is that?
Did you see Carlos Williams
True.
play?
Good point.
Carlos Williams is 6'3", I think, like 210. And he had a pretty good game against the Dolphins, and he's going to get all the touches for this game. I'm a little scared because McCoy didn't really do much. He had that one receiving touchdown.
Right.
But Carlos Williams looked really good against the Dolphins. He had a lot of broken tackles. From what I was watching, looked like he was about to get stopped on the line out of nowhere, gained 8 yards. Some split seams.
Every time that my brother has LaShawn McCoy in fantasy, and every time that the Bulls reach the inside the 5-yard line, they give it to Carlos Williams. Every single time. So
Brandon walked in. Brandon, what do you think about Carlos Williams?
Oh, well, I think the Giants are a bit unlucky that Rex Ryan's getting a little smart about LaShawn McCoy because he's now finally sitting him to get him rested for the week, a good week off. Carlos Williams is definitely going to have a field day against the Giants, so I'm not too happy about LaShawn McCoy sitting, to be completely honest with you, which is a weird statement.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
it's a lose-lose for the Giants because LaShawn McCoy is obviously LaShawn McCoy, but Carlos Williams is definitely showing that he can be a force in this league.
And Sammy Watkins was uncertain for Sunday, so if he doesn't play, then that's obviously good news for the New York Giants, but we have to see if Rogers Cromartie comes back from his concussion. He missed Thursday's game. It was a short week, but we'll see. Giants played better against the Redskins last week, but again, fourth quarter, the Redskins wound up scoring a lot of points. For whatever reason, the Giants just can't play in the fourth quarter. I don't know what it is. I don't know. This offense can put up points. I think they could put up points against the Bills' defense, not necessarily on the ground. If you have Rashad Jennings in fantasy, sit him. He's not going to do anything. I don't really think any Giants running back will do anything. I think they're going to have to rely heavily on, what's his name? Odell Beckham. And
what's his name?
Yeah, I don't know how I blanked out because I'm thinking about
Beckham. Yeah, I like that Ruben Randle actually had a very good game too.
Yeah,
Ruben Randle had more targets I think than Beckham. So definitely a big morale booster for Randle, who needed to prove himself after the first 2 weeks where he was almost like Parker, dropping passes all over the place. So
yeah. And who knows what they're going to do with Wes Welker and Hakeem Nicks. If they sign, I doubt they would play this weekend. But Victor Cruz said it yesterday on the Michael K. Show. When wide receivers are getting looked at, when people are rumored to sign with your team in your position, you get a little nervous. So that's loud. Nice. You all right?
I'm good, yeah, but I don't understand how that happened. Anyway.
Your headphones are right next to the microphone. Duh. So, yeah, I mean, I think this Giants offense, if they put up points, then they will score. Because I don't think the Bills offense will do very much. I know that's kind of weird to say. The running game, then that's what I'm scared about. But I'm not worried about their receivers. Tyrod Taylor scares me a little bit because the Giants have always had difficulty with mobile quarterbacks because their linebacker core has not been playing well. John Beeson was okay. This Unga guy, I feel like every time there's a completion, he's always right next to it. He hasn't really covered much. The Giants pulled up stats the other day that he has a ton of tackles, but he has a ton of tackles because people are catching the ball right next to him, and they try to go for the end zone. And
offenses are playing very well against the Giants because their slot receivers and your tight ends are running routes across the linebackers who just, I don't know if they're not in shape, or they're just not experienced enough to deal with these fast receivers and these powerful tight ends. I just don't think that the Giants have a affordable linebacker that can cover these type of guys. So they're definitely making the best out of their weakness.
Yeah, the Giants' weaknesses are stopping mobile quarterbacks and stopping tight ends. You have Charles Clay, who has been pretty solid so far. He's had a couple of touchdowns, and Tyrod Taylor has really proven that he's – I don't want to say proving, but he's been playing very well in the first 3 weeks of this NFL season. So I think the Bills will wind up winning this football game. But you know what? If the Giants' offense is the Giants' offense that we know can show up, then it could be a Giants W.
Do you know what I like, though? I like that Nix and Welker actually worked out. Look at that. If everyone's healthy, when you get Victor Cruz back, look at your four receivers.
Yeah.
Cruz, Beckham, Randall, and/or Nix and Welker.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. And plus with Rashad Jennings. So I just think this team needs to come together for a full offensive attack. You know what I'm saying?
Would you rather have Hakeem Nicks or Wes Welker? I would rather have Hakeem Nicks. Because Wes Welker's going to get tackled one time, and then he's going to sue the NFL for concussions. Hakeem Nicks and Eli Manning have solid chemistry. They like each other. They know how to play with each other.
Yeah, like you said, I want to be able to wear my Hakeem Nicks jersey. I still have it. So I want to be able to wear it again.
I still have an Hakeem Nicks jersey.
But anyway, you saw that Eli loved Hakeem Nicks, and he threw to him so much. So I don't know. I feel like Hakeem Nicks over Wes Welker. Definitely, because the Giants also don't have that over the top threat. I mean, Beckham, he does pull down balls, but he is kind of short. When you have Hakeem Nicks in those hands, come on.
Yep. All right, let's talk about the Jets for a second. Jets are at London against the Dolphins. That game will be at 9:30 a.m. on CBS. The Dolphins have been nothing. They've been complete pretenders so far, and the Jets are 2-1. They're coming off of a tough loss against Philadelphia, a game where, besides the first half, they really outplayed Philadelphia, minus Brandon Marshall's really, really bad decision-making. But the Jets shut out the Eagles in the second half. It was 24-0 in the first half, and then Jets wound up putting up 17 in the second half. Just bad decisions by the Jets. This isn't what we saw last week is not New York Jets football. 3 years ago it was, but this year I don't think so. I just think Fitzpatrick just had one of his days. Just a bad game overall. Brandon Marshall was not thinking on that. The loss of Eric Decker did not help either. The loss of Chris Ivory did not help. So I think the Jets are... Right now, I think they've played much better than Miami. Miami's been nothing but a disappointment. And if you asked me a couple weeks ago, I would have said Dolphins had this game in the bag. Right now, I think this is the Jets game to lose.
Absolutely. Like George said, the Jets lost that game last week. We didn't believe that the Eagles really had any feet. The Jets just had mental errors, physical errors on their part. So they're definitely trying to rebound against the Dolphins, who, like you said, were absolute pretenders.
Yeah.
I thought that they were going to be a lot better.
Yep.
Tannehill, with the ankle injury, now he's a little bit less mobile. He had a hard time in the pocket against the Bills, and he wasn't really targeting Jarvis Landry like I would like to see him do.
Yeah.
Because Landry, if you were watching, he was open, but he just didn't target him. He was trying to go for his other receivers. So I don't know. The Dolphins seem to be in disarray right now. The Jets, not really much in disarray. I wouldn't really worry about them much. But going to Wembley Stadium, going to be a lot of fun out in London. Wake up, eat my Fruit Loops, and watch Watch some Jets football.
Both teams will be desperately looking for a win, though, because the Jets don't want to fall to 2-2. They know that they could be 3-0, and they know that they could be 2-2, obviously, but they know that they could be 3-0 right now instead of 2-1. And obviously, the Dolphins just want to get out of their losing streak. But I do think the Jets are going to take this one home. I think that right now they are a better team, and I just don't think Miami has it. I think the Jets have it. I think last week was just a fluke. For the Jets, that is, just a bad game overall. That's not Jets football. I think the Jets are going to win. I don't know about you three, but I'm going Jets.
No, I'm definitely going Jets too. There's no doubt that they bounced back from this game. They knew it was a mishap and bury that football, even though Rex Ryan isn't there. Bury it. Go on.
All right, we got 8 minutes left. We have Brandon and George in studio, so you know what that means. It's time for our NFL weekly predictions. We got Week 4 coming up. This football season's flying as usual. Tomorrow night, we got Ravens at Steelers. Steelers without Ben Roethlisberger for at least 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm still going to go Steelers. Ravens are 3-0, though, right? Are the Ravens 3-0?
Yeah, I don't know how.
The Ravens are
0-3.
0-3. I mixed that one
I'm
up
thinking
then.
of the Bengals, who I didn't think would be 3-0 right now.
I like the Bengals a lot, though. We'll get into them soon, though. Steelers are a better team than the Ravens. The Steelers still have Le'Veon Bell. They still have Antonio Brown. They still have Heath Miller, who I've always liked. He's not a huge threat, but he could have those games where he just goes absolutely off. No Ben is big for this team, but you know what? The Steelers are just an overall better team. I'm going Steelers.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Steelers too. I think that this defense is going to step up because they know that they have to, especially with Joe Flacco's passing to Steve Smith, who ever since week 1 we were like, oh, trade him. Yeah. Now week 2, week 3 puts up mucho numbers on the board. So
yeah,
I'm definitely going with the Pittsburgh D. I'm going to say the Steelers win.
I'm going to take the Ravens. The quarterback position is the most important position in football, and Steelers are stuck with an old 35-year-old Michael Vick.
I agree. I think Ravens. I think Roethlisberger is a bigger part of this offense than people think, and I think it's going to hurt Antonio Brown significantly and Le'Veon Bell a little bit too.
It's fair. 2-2. Jaguars at Colts. Everyone.
Colts.
That was easy. Giants at Bills. We went over it before. I'm going to go Bills on this one, but again, wouldn't be surprised if the Giants offense pulled something.
Yeah, I don't see the Giants going 1-3. I see them going 2-2 this week because I believe that if they stop Carlos Williams, they have a great chance to win this game.
Yes, definitely.
Go Giants.
I'm going to say Bills, but I would also not be surprised if the Giants won.
Yeah.
I like the Bills a lot, though.
Panthers at Bucks. Panthers are 3-0, right?
Yep.
Panthers are 3-0. I don't know how, but the Panthers are 3-0.
About as bad of a 3-0 team as you could be.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to go 4-0, though.
Who are they playing?
Bucks.
The
at
Bucks?
Tampa.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Panthers, too. They have a will right now, so
yeah.
Cam Newton's playing out of his mind, and he's the only one really playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? I'm going to go Panthers, too.
I'm going to take the Panthers. This is the easiest first 4 games of the season I've ever seen in my life.
It is the truth.
I agree with George.
Eagles at Skins. I'm going Eagles. I think that the Redskins stink. And, yeah, Eagles.
I'm going to go Eagles, too. Even though the Jets did lose that game last week, I think it's a morale builder that they can win a game. So I'm going to go with Eagles, too.
I'm going to go Eagles.
I think the Redskins are just an awful football team, and the Eagles win no matter what.
Simple. Raiders at Bears. The Bears are really bad, huh? They're really bad.
Yeah.
But the Raiders are worse. So I'm gonna go Bears.
Cutler most likely out.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, good. Good for the Bears. Bears win.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Latavius Murray had a great game last week.
He did.
I think that the Bears rushing D is awful. By the way, so I'm just gonna go with the Raiders.
Ryan, you said the Raiders are worse than the Bears. I don't agree with that. Raiders.
I'm going to take the Raiders. I don't know what's up with all these awful games this year so far.
Wow. I thought more people picked the Bears. No, whatever.
No.
Texans at Falcons. Falcons, they have Julio Jones.
Falcons save Julio Jones.
Falcons are going to be 13-3 this year, so I'm going to take the Falcons here.
Falcons have Julio Jones. Falcons.
Chiefs at Bengals. I'm going to go Bengals on that one.
Definitely going to go Bengals, too. That team is just playing on all cylinders right now, and I always loved Andy Dalton. I always say this. Red Rocket, baby.
Andy Dalton looks like a different quarterback this year.
He really does.
Go Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals, but once it comes playoff time, Dalton's going to be Dalton.
Yeah.
Good point. Browns at Chargers.
Nice
Give me the
little
Chargers.
Yep.
Chargers? I'm going to go with the Browns.
Wow.
Okay.
No reason being. I'm just going to go with the Browns.
Chargers.
That's why you're 11-19.
Chargers.
Packers at 49ers.
Everyone now?
Packers. Okay, next.
49ers.
Rams. What?
I'm serious.
You were serious?
I'm serious.
All right, anyway.
Must be nice to get a loss.
We are now hiring for NFL weekly picks, so inquire within.
I'm taking Packers.
All right. Rams and Cardinals. Cardinals are
Cardinals.
sick.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Vikings and Broncos. Broncos.
Broncos.
Vikings. No, Broncos. I'm just kidding.
Cowboys at Saints.
Saints.
Cowboys.
Wait, what?
I said the Saints.
Oh, yeah, he was explaining this to me today.
The Cowboys have an awful defense, and it's really bad. It's only good statistically because they're never on the field, and we saw it this week against the Falcons. Drew Brees hopefully plays better this week.
I don't think
Drew
he's
Brees
going
playing?
to.
Yeah,
He is
he's
playing.
practicing all week, so I would assume he's playing.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to. Cooks and Colston just cannot get open. I think the Cowboys win.
I am going to go Saints. Cowboys really don't have good. I mean, I know the Saints, for whatever reason, stink at home now. But, see, I still think it's a good – I think it's a scary place to play. Cowboys have no Dez. They have no Romo. They have no defense. Saints in that one. Lions at Seahawks Monday night in Seattle. Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks. Definitely.
Seahawks. Poor Lions with their schedule. Who they play next week, Brandon?
Next week?
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Jeez.
Wow.
And they played the Broncos last week. So 0-5.
That's rough.
That's
rough.
Wait, they're 0. Wow.
They're
They're
0-3.
0-3.
Their schedule's insane, though.
Yeah,
that's
Panthers are 3-0. Look at their schedule.
Panthers are
So,
3-0. Those are your Week 4 picks. Hopefully, we don't have standings or anything, do we?
not right now, no. I
just
dropped
put
the
your-
ball on that.
You just put your computer away.
I did. It died.
Well, you
It died.
put liquid paper on it.
and it
Put liquid paper on a B,
and it
and
died.
it died. What? Oh man, that's rough. That is rough.
Wait, did we do the Jets game?
Yeah, we did the Jets game.
I never made a prediction.
Figure right now. Hurry up.
Dolphins. Trap game again.
Trap game. Wow. Anyway,
All right. Thank you. Hold on.
Back up in this.
Hold on.
come on. This is my favorite part of the show.
Is it working?
No. I'm not ending the show until this song. Start
Neither am I.
over. Start over.
All right.
Anyway, just while Ryan's doing this, I just want to send out another prayer. This is like my 6th prayer to Derrick Rose. Just get back, bro. Please. You're crazy. Seriously, poor guy. What do we say? He's missed 108 games the last 2 seasons, and Tim Duncan's missed 97 in his whole career.
Rough
Jeez.
life. Rough life.
Jeez,
for
and this guy
Derrick
could have been possibly a Hall of Famer, but this might actually
Stop it.
stop that.
Probably would have been if he played 15 healthy seasons.
Yeah, without a doubt. Why is? I'm just gonna leave it right there. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in to Beasts of the East on this Wednesday, September 30th, 2015. Ryan Warwick and Scott Thompson. We have Brandon George with us also. Thanks for coming in once again. See you on Monday at 6 o'clock. It is not goodbye. It is see you later. Take care, everybody.
Taking chances while we dancing in